Hey there, good evening, Delson, good evening. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for being here. We are playing Pillars of Eternity. Yeah, this is, what, day 16, 17? I don't even know anymore. I have a 3D model. I should make a new dancing Smeech. You should. one with a booty. Pillars of Mediocrity. None the artist. It's a great game. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. The model has booty. I think I remember the model. Unless you've made a new one. Anyway, we are in the White March DLC. Our goal for the evening, finish it. Finish the White March DLC so that we can move on to the second DLC at the start of next week. And I don't know if that's really even possible. It looks like it should be because it doesn't look like we have that much left on the map. But with a game like this, you never know. We start getting into reading dialogue and stuff, and it can take forever. Oh, oh yes, I remember the Goblin Alchemist. You sent me a picture of the Goblin Alchemist. Oh, look at this. Water. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
There we go. All right. It's a fantastic series. Finally got your copy of Trails to Reverie. Oh, Uncle Monkey says hi. Yeah, so I don't have a whole lot to say about it because we are going to jump right in. We should be able to find out, hopefully, how to get into the White Forge or whatever. I think that's what it's called, the White Forge. That's what we're trying to do. All right. That said, let's jump into it. And then Smeech like literally jumps into it. I love it. I love that Smeech animation. Dragoon Smeech makes me happy. I saw a couple of additional cursed items in your guys' comments from the last video. Here, during combat, yes. Arrow moving out of what? Yes. This is a long load. It is a long load. I think the load times are getting longer as we get further into it. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
Just say the word.
Just say the word. The word is the bird.
Leave it to...
Just need to get a physical copy of Trails of Azure. Physical copies. I wish I could buy physical copies of games. They're always so expensive now. I knew that was going to be a trap, but yet I still walked over the top of it.
It may be time to strike up camp.
So we jumped right in, like right into combat in Galvino's workshop. We're still looking for Galvino himself. Let me out! Is that Galvino? Is Galvino locked in his own dungeon or something? That's not broken construct. Oh no! Ha! Your money or your life, friend! A tinny voice rises from within the chest of this headless machine. From time to time, a burst of sparks accompanies the rattling of its innards. Excuse me? Get a little lost, did we? There's a toll on these roads. 500 copper, or you'll have a new set of nostrils to breathe out of. The construct's arms twitch spasmodically at its sides. Please, just pay it off. Pay it off. Please, just don't hurt us. Oh, no. Delson, you went outside today. How did it go? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah. I'm not sure this water got stirred. So we're not on the road, but you're a construct. What are you going to do? Kick me? I don't have that much coin. Or attack. Let's play along. Let's play along with this thing. Let's give us some money. Please just don't hurt us. Really? Well, That is, of course. I thought you might see reason. Give it here, and then you may be on your way. The construct raises a battered stump of an arm toward you, reaching for its prize, only to scatter the coins to the floor when it reels away again. Tell everyone you meet. Allrin Razorfingers is true to her word. The construct gives a gleeful, rattling laugh, tottering to the back of the cell. I would like this construct.
A whole 500 tons!
Yeah, I would like to be able to recruit this construct. Half a workout's better than nothing. I'm glad it went okay. I'm glad you're feeling up to getting out again. Where are you, Galvino?
You better run!
Will you repeat all I say? It doesn't know that it's a machine. These constructs don't know that they're machines.
Your thoughts must flow deeply indeed.
What is Galvino doing in here?
We'll fare better if we get some sleep.
He's obviously completely lost it.
Not a problem. I'm on the trail.
You hear a faint, reedy voice singing tunelessly from inside the machine. Subject Balseer. She has outdone herself with this one, Balseer. A common robber with some natural talent for cipher abilities. It has gone to his head. The Bazo believes he is the next Antonino. I think, in any case, the world would be well rid of him. Still, he has yielded promising results. His mind is almost perfectly intact. I might even have been able to determine whether there is merit in his delusions about his soul lineage. But I made a foolish mistake of leaving the man's pistol on my work table. His essence is bound to the weapon rather than the body I undertook to build for him. Even bodiless, this fool seeks to trouble me. I have sealed him within one of the tanks. I will have to proof the machine against the free-roaming experiments while I think of a solution. Until then, I suppose I must endure the company while I work. So we know that this guy is terrible, right? From what we've seen, just what we've seen and read, he's like kidnapping people
Got something over here.
and using them to make these constructs. And now, everyone that he's kidnapping is a bad person, but do they deserve that? What's so great about the outdoors? Violence. Animals try to kill you. People try to kill you. The sun tries to kill you. I don't know that I've seen the animals try to kill me yet. Short series of clicks from around the corner. Then we triggered the trap, because why wouldn't we? You own the outdoor. I own it. Give me my robot body. Well, you could have a burning flesh construct, though. Didn't I get hit by a deer on my bike? Sort of. It was more like I hit a deer on my bike. It was the deer's fault, but I don't think it did it on purpose. I guess I can't really know that. Want a squirrel army? You'll be the next squirrel girl.
Brave Dalfilathili. I cannot. Brave.
My party has become very complainy recently. Saw one on Amazon 5-day discounted. Ooh, exceptional rapier. All right, we've got the cell key now. We just got to find our way to the cell. I probably should, like, maybe rest here. Health's getting very low on some of my people. Have a little sleep in the middle of a dungeon. Why not? All right, Delson, we'll see you when you're back. Hireling payday, total wages paid 450 copper. So I can now release, I've got a prisoner, and I can release said prisoner if I choose to. Unlocking this requires the correct key.
Hello? Hello?
Take that. Now we have not had any problem. Experimental notes. This hastily written entry is dotted with blots of ink. I refuse to continue wasting my time with these stitchwork grotesqueries. What work is spent in gathering the rotting corpse, the feeblest spark of life is later tripled in repairs. Truly, they come apart at the seams. The sight of them in the corridors has come to disgust me. They hold nothing of the subject's vitality, intelligence, coordination, only a brute obedience. Flesh has too gentle a grasp upon the essence, that much is clear. Little wonder the folks at Brackenbury were willing to pawn these sorry specimens off so cheaply. Madicio? Madicio. Okay, is that the key to this door? Yes. iPhone now even recognizes curse words without retyping them? What? Wonder if they'll keep it that way. An elderly man hunches over a cluttered desk in the back of the workshop. His flesh is pulled tightly around thin, fragile-looking bones, except around his neck, where it hangs in loose wattles. He turns as you enter, a scowl already chiseled into his lined face.
Back again? I told you.
This guy is creeping me out already.
Of course, a fresh fool to replace the last fools. What brings you stomping through my workshop, eh?
He draws his words out, looking you up and down. A sneer creeps across his face. I've got questions about Durgan's battery in the White Forge. Watch your tone, old man. Seems like you already know. Since I sell false teeth. Heard you could use a new set. Okay.
Straight to business, no nonsense. We appreciate that, don't we?
I do. He turns to the bronze golem over his shoulder.
Anything for a breather from your endless yammering.
The Devil of Karok.
You would miss me if I were gone, Imura. For who would tolerate your barbs and insults?
Anyhow.
But you come seeking the White Forge.
Like they all do.
Boys with smooth cheeks and wild dreams. Girls with bright ribbons tied next to their scabbards.
His voice rises and falls with the sing-song of mockery.
Old men and women, too, seeking a final blaze of glory before they're snuffed out for another turn at the wheel. Sound familiar?
His smile is rigid as he looks at you, and the corner of his eye twitches. You've said this all before, I take. Rather strive for greatness than wither in the shadows? It's a lot of bitterness. Maybe I should ask you the same thing? It's just another job. Yeah, you
I
said this
have
all before.
conversation with every pig-headed swashbuckler those Postenagos and Stalwart send here.
Ah, yeah, well, they do keep telling me to come here. They said, come see this guy.
Go see Galvino, they say.
That is what they said.
He'll help you.
Must have slipped their minds what a busy and important fellow you are.
I like Devil of Karok. She's got an attitude. In the silence that follows, the temperature in the room seems to drop. Galvino glares at
I
her.
should have let them stone you. Would have silenced your endless rattling forever.
Each conversation is like a mini play. It is nice because it feels I mean, I know you can only go so far with role playing in a computer RPG, but it feels like they at least attempted to add a role play element to the game. Delson, welcome back. For now.
Then you'd have naught but those frostbitten inbreds for company.
I guess this is what it'd be like if Eloth and Isilmir, I don't know who Isilmir, were two separate people. Oh, the Isilmir is the voice in Eloth's head. Focus, please. Uldric said you could help me. Maestre Galvino, I'd really appreciate your help, please. You're upset. There's an old wound with Stalwart then. Yeah.
The spiteful imbeciles destroyed my career, ruined years of work. But let us focus on the reason for your visit, yes?
Yes. What is it?
Villagers and their adventurers hammer and pry at the battery as if they were laying siege to some moldering lord's keep.
He swats the air in front of his face.
But those stones were laid by some of the finest builders ever to have lived, disciples of Abidan in the truest sense. They will not fall by the whims of any kith. And the door itself, it is infused with living essence.
He holds his hands before him, and his eyes are wide with wonder. They got locked out of their own fortress? So how does one get
With
in?
the secrets of the Pargrunen dwarves, of course.
He taps his balding head.
The
He doesn't look like a
Pargrunen
dwarf
of
to me.
Durgan's battery perished within their own keep, victims of a violent disagreement among their own commandants. Surely in the village you have heard stories, no? Disappearing caravans, tracks in the snow, screams from the high towers.
He pauses, watching your expression with a raconteur's glee. Well, go on. I like this story so far.
The work of spirits still trapped in the battery, and a testament to those impenetrable walls.
He raps on the mortared stone of his own home.
But the door of the keep, the one the Pargrunen filled with essence, it was made to listen, to recognize its masters.
So I need you to
Traditional
recognize me. You
Atapa
must have a
cultures
password.
Revolved around language. Words revealed who they were and where they were from.
An interesting tradition. I would start introducing everyone in verse.
That is why you need a Kantek.
What's a cantic? Oh, that's what I can ask. What's a cantic?
Some liken it to a poem, others to an anthem. In reality, it is more than either.
He holds one hand out, turning it this way and that in a balancing motion.
A Kantek is a statement of purpose, a declaration of identity. Each is unique to its stronghold.
Ha! Seal your door with a key of words and any liar can talk his way through. There's nothing built of words that won't break when the slightest stress is applied.
Thus, to enter a fortress like Durgan's battery, you would stand at the gate and recite its Kantek.
He spreads his arm, his face aglow. It's a password. It's an elaborate password. Okay, where would I learn this
To
cantic?
learn the Kantek, you must speak with one of the dwarves of Durgan's battery. A shame they are all dead, no?
Oh, that's not going to be too bad because I can speak to dead people.
But no doubt their souls live on in one or two of the villagers of Stalwart. Like fine wine poured into
So I gotta
a
go
cheap
find
pot.
someone related to a dwarf?
But to identify them, that is the first problem. You would need the skills of an animancer.
I'm a watcher. The golem swivels her head sharply toward you. Her mask of a face, and the glass eyes behind it betray no emotion, but it seems as if she's watching you carefully.
A watcher? Diverus? If
Diverus?
this is true, then you could find a soul descendant from Durgan's battery, no question. But the greater difficulty remains.
Galvino rubs his gaunt, whiskered cheeks.
You would have to learn the Cantech from the dormant soul. And to do that, you would have to awaken it.
Ooh, how do I awaken a soul?
An awakening is merely the jolting of a dormant soul into consciousness.
He makes a bursting motion with his hand, splaying his fingers wide.
When such things happen normally, it is because something has reminded the subject of a past life, often violently so. Thus, to awaken one of the former dwarves of Durgan's battery, you will need to address that soul, and preferably by name.
Ooh.
But show some care. When you examine these souls, whatever it is you watchers do, you may see images, memories.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what we do, is we see
These
images
are
and
moments
memories.
of special import. What you see will tell you much about the person, and perhaps the condition in which they awaken.
So I don't want to awaken anybody who's like
Awakening
ready to
from a
like
traumatic memory,
slaughter
who
and eat
knows?
children.
Maybe they awaken thirsty for blood, or maybe you awaken someone else. Here, this has been tuned to the Eon of Durgan's battery. Use it near the villagers, and it should tell you if one has a soul old enough to have come from the battery.
We've gained Galvino's resonance amplifier. Will this awakening be
Oh,
permanent? Oh
yes.
no.
Whoever
That's
you
not
awaken
good.
will live with the memories and the personality of a past life. Maybe peacefully, maybe not.
His bony shoulders rise in a shrug.
That is why you must pay attention to the soul you would awaken, no?
This guy's got a real knack for understatement.
It is a monumental thing to impose on another, but these are the very people who wish to rediscover the White Forge, Verus.
I suppose that's true. I see.
You
Thanks
have
for your
much
help.
work ahead of you, as do I.
I'm going with him.
The golem looks between you, her neck turning on its oiled joint.
You go to Starward?
We're gonna get a
This is
golem.
your sense
We're gonna
of
get a
humor.
warforged
There's
character.
something gone to rust in that beautiful head I crafted.
No one will bother me while I'm with him. Besides, I can help him find people in Stalwart.
The golem's burnished face is eerily impassive.
You haven't been to Starward in 13 years. And this watcher sees souls. What
I don't
help
know.
could you be?
Never really understood that.
Besides, I have need of you here. You owe whatever remains of your wicked life to me.
The frown sours on his lips as he taps his chest with a crooked finger. The golem says nothing, but her essence smolders. Resentment rises from her in shimmering waves. She swivels her head to look at you. I'd like her to travel with me.
No, no, no. You don't know what you ask.
He shakes his head, waving his hand.
This woman, the devil of Karek, she was a notorious murderer.
Oh, no. Burned people
all
alive.
over the region.
Maybe I don't want her to follow me.
Besides, she works for me. After all, I am the one who preserved her.
I'll pay you.
She's a valuable assistant, and one I've worked hard to create. I must see payment for her services. I'm sure.
All right.
Fine price for a blacksmith striker. Suppose I should be flattered.
Lost 700
And
copper.
then you have it.
And now we have her. What is she? She's a rogue. Oh my goodness. A rogue. Like an actual, honest to goodness rogue. Magic full conversion cyborg. Who do I get rid of to take my rogue with me? I'm thinking maybe Sagani. Do I really need two? Do I need two rangers? I mean, my party right now is good. I don't necessarily have to get rid of anybody because it's a good party. But I want to see what she does. And there you have it, a bargain.
A moment. You are going back to Starward, yes? Perhaps you could do me a favor.
She's talking through a tin can helmet. I think she is.
There is a man in the village named Grinde, the head fisherman. The rest of Stalwart kisses his feet because he fills their stinking blades with speckleback. But I know he's not as virtuous as he seems.
How do you know that? Seems like you have a history.
Self-righteous meddler engineered my eviction from the village.
Oh,
turned them
so
all
he
against
could
me.
be good, and you just don't like him because you're not necessarily good either.
Now I want him to feel the scorn of those mush-brained imbeciles.
All right, what do you want me to do?
Humiliate him, of course. Show his neighbors what he truly is.
Well, if he's truly
Let
evil,
him
then that's
live
fine.
with the disgrace.
Points vaguely in the direction of the village, his thin arm
He's
trembling.
always been a ripple sponge addict. Just got good at hiding it once his sainted sister died and left him in charge of the fishery. But he keeps a stash in the fishery, sneaks in at night when the others have gone home, and emerges sluggish and red-eyed a few hours later. I want you to expose him. Go
Oh,
to
we're
the
gonna go
fishery after
break
dark when
into
it's
the
empty.
fishery and find his
Find
drug
ripple
stash.
sponge and show it to Renegade. Do not answer me now, but when you return to that festering eyesore and smell the stink of fish that hangs in the air, consider what I've said. Your misgivings collect like grime on a doorstep, but think, if this Green Day is a fraud, does he not deserve to be exposed?
I don't know. Is he doing more
But
harm
be
than
sure
good?
to approach
Maybe.
the fishery by night, when it's empty.
I don't know much
Give him
about
no
this
end
thing that
trouble
he's
to
doing.
see you stealing during the day.
Okay, how to question about the
As
devil.
must the gods themselves.
Ah! The golem says nothing, but her essence smolders. Resentment rises from her in shimmering waves. What story?
This charming specimen.
Mighty fine of you to start with my good qualities, and you wonder why we don't get more visitors.
Killed over a dozen people before they finally caught up to her in Stalwart. Perfect company for lonely
Oh my
camps and
goodness.
mountain passes, no?
I took a terrible person into my party, I think. Not some stupid golem cop.
Hey, I know how to start a campfire.
The only reason she's not a frozen corpse is because
Wow.
I convinced the old mayor to let me try an experiment.
You put a person's soul into a metal body? Aren't you afraid she'll murder
She
you?
may be mad, but she's no fool. She wouldn't survive long on her own.
Makes a clicking noise when in contact with metal, but has the strength of several men? Not a clue.
If the villagers didn't send a hunting party after her, the elements would claim her. Her joints and mechanisms require maintenance, and she cannot perform all of it herself.
See, he's reminding me, in case I get any bright ideas.
All right.
She's a
Good
fine
enough.
specimen. Something else? Quay.
Okay. Let's go. I want to see what she is, like what she does. She was wounded. Oh no, her level just skyrocketed when she joined my party.
Right here.
Keep an eye on the Devil of Karak. Okay. What kind of abilities do you get? Blinding Strike, Withering Strike, Finishing Blow, and Reckless Assault.
Just
And
say the word.
She's got, hold on. Her inventory is, she has got a fine spear. A luck. Okay, that's sensible. She has to have special armor. Devil of Karak's body. She uses a spear, I guess. That doesn't seem like a good weapon for a rogue. Rogues need, let's go with enchantments high to low. This battle axe is high, but she's probably not an axe person. It's a scepter. That is a sword. Ooh, maybe a crossbow in her offhand there. And then seems like a rapier would be good. With maybe a dagger. An exceptional stiletto. That's kind of sucky. Exceptional saber. I really want to give her an actual sword. I could give her an estoc. Raven wing mace. What about this? Can she dual wield these? There we go. Yeah. She's a crazy dual wielding combat rogue.
Just say the word.
Oh, evidently I stole that.
Not a problem.
He wasn't too happy about me stealing that from him.
Quick and quiet.
Okay, what is she actually using? Okay, she is up close. She's up close and personal, if she could get to him. Okay, everybody start attacking, please.
I'm on it.
I'm not sure if keeping her was a good idea.
If secrets whisper here, I shall listen for them. You better run!
We might end up missing out on that sweet ranged damage.
Oh, look over here.
Although she's a thief and she might be better at opening, like, undoing traps and stuff than Speech is. Or even finding secrets. I don't know. Let's see if she can do this trap.
Got it done.
Trap disarmed. Very
Just
good.
say the word.
Let's see what lies this.
Anything up here? Let's see. It is a potion of major regeneration. There's a room back here that I haven't explored.
I've got something over here.
All right, somebody get up there and unlock, undo that trap. Yes.
You better run!
Most of my party is melee now. Oh, you know what I could do? We could stop getting shocked. I could switch her back to using a crossbow. Take all this. Whoops, I should have read that.
I shall do as you ask. What you ask is done.
Okay. You know what? I just realized I didn't give her any other gear. I gave her weapons, didn't give her any other gear. I'm going to make her use a crossbow now. Let's give her that crossbow. Okay, let's go back into our bags here. And we could give her, let's give her this bow, regular old bow. And then she needs some armor. She's got just recovery speed minus 40, DR of 8. Oh, it cannot be unequipped. Her body can't be unequipped. I wonder if you can get a new body for her. Okay, here we are. We'll throw this on. We've got a couple of rings. Dexterity ring for the rogue, absolutely. Dominate, might, and deflection, binding. Athletics, that's a... Wait, is this what I was just on? The hat? Athletics, dexterity, immunity, yes. Now she's wearing a stupid-looking hat. Give her a waist piece. Let's take the first ring here. Give her that. Can she get boots? Yes, boots of speed. And we need a hands. Hands. Deflection. Done. There we go.
Laying low.
All the jokes that come to mind tonight are only funny to 5-year-olds. See, that's what makes it hard to be an entertainer. I don't really consider myself particularly an entertainer. But I haven't got a very good sense of humor. I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but I'm not funny.
Here, I shall listen for them.
Okay, there is a door up here somewhere. Right there. Biscuit dough hands, man. Squigwiz, good evening. How's it going? Look, we have a robot in our party now. I mean, it's not really a robot, obviously. Yeah, I don't think I can open this door. This looks like maybe it's a place where we come in from the other side. I'm not very good at laughing either. Got my elemental relic done. Last stage was slowly upgrading. Nice. Congrats. There we go. We are back upstairs. We're headed back to Stalwart. Where everyone's going to hate me because I have the evil woman trapped in a robot body. Is part of my party. If it ever loads.
First, your neighbors hound you because you say the wrong prayers at supper time.
If it wasn't that, it'd be something else. Just their way of letting you know they care.
Then some cross-eyed lord gets to stringing up your neighbors.
A couple of them were ones that have been hounding me, so that worked out at least.
Sounds like they're going to get along great. Wow, okay. We're going to finish out this map real quick before we move on. Oh, there's a barrel. Better grab it. Got a pry bar. And what's this say? In the trampled, bloody slush around this toppled wagon, you spy tracks leading back south along the path. There's an ice troll. Lots of ice trolls and their buggy companions. The trolls are regenerating, I think. Come on, stay dead this time. Okay, good. We finally got that one to stay down. How realistic do you think it would be that we can actually make the Baldur's Gate 3 launch? Or should I not prep and just wait and see? As far as I'm concerned, we will play it at launch. Even if we have to take a break from something else, I think it's going to be worth it to play that way. We will have to see like when we can do group stuff. That's what it's really going to come down to, I think, for a lot of it, is when can we get a group together. And it may be something where we can't do it every day, and we'll do it like on, you know, a certain couple of days or something. On launch day, I'd like to play it with whoever is available, if anyone's even available, or else I'll just play it by myself, I suppose. Oh, there's something over here. As you grab the bow, it vibrates with a strange and familiar energy. Searching your pack, you find the silver arrow that you found lodged in an injured winter wolf. As you hold the bow and arrow together, the arrow suddenly snaps into place. You hear a crackling hum, and a pale ribbon of light begins to form between the end of the bow. When you pull the arrow back, you feel a very solid resistance. You have gained an item, Stormcaller. Ooh. Where is it? I don't know who picked it up. Is this it? Stormcaller is a soul-bound hunting bow. She's using a hunting bow, but it seems like if somebody's going to use a hunting bow, it should be Smeech. It's exceptional. That's its only property. 15 to 22 shock damage. It's not anywhere near as damaging as what I've got. I don't want it to bind to the wrong person. Bind this item to unlock the next level. A group session later is more realistic than it might be. We'll have to. I don't know when you're available, or the only people I know are going to play it are you and Topher. Better than have a skinny person in a fat body. Did that for like 25 years, man. Like if you and Topher are available, like I said, like launch day, I would love to just play it. Like I say, even if we take a break from whatever else I'm playing at the time, and just play it on launch day. And then when you and Topher are available, we'll have to figure out when we can meet up. Yeah, I don't know if Delson's ready to commit to playing a game with us or not. It would be cool if he wanted to. Who should I bind this bow to? Should I bind it to Smeech? Should Smeech have a bound bow, even if it's not as good as its current bow? And if I bind it, is it going to be the only weapon he can use? What if I get rid of these things? Let's try it. Let's just see what happens. What's the worst that happens? Yeah, so right now it's looking like 3. I don't know if MA is interested either or not. We'd have to ask him. MA, you going to be playing Baldur's Gate 3 with us? I have doubts. Are you sure you want to soulbind the Stormcaller? Yes. Done. Oh, you can sever the binding of Stormcaller. Deal 250 shock damage to enemies with Stormcaller to unlock the next level. Can't commit to anything at this time. That's fine. It's just DA2 with more blood. No worries. If you decide you'd like to, let us know. If you can't, you can't. It's not going to be the end of the world. We will survive with just 3 of us. Okay, back to town. So possibly 3 at an NPC. Possibly. Skelefun, good evening. Your cousins are finally gone. It's good to sit down. It's been a long day, has it? Come on. When an attack scores a hit, it does standard something, 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 something. Alright, so we're here. And we are needing to find a villager whose sole ancestor is a dwarf of Durgan Battery. Oh, DOS 2. Divinity? Divinity 2?
I take it you've met Galvino.
What can you tell me about Fear? Have questions about Durgan's Battery? Your awareness settles beneath Renengild's skin. You feel yourself looking through her eyes upon a time-faded memory. You're standing in the inn. The room is stifling, but it's the body heat of so many furious villagers, not the neglected fire pit that's drawn sweat from your pores. Your husband waits by the door about as far as he can get from the assembly. He holds Uldric, whose cheeks are bright as he watches the adults bicker with wide, fearful eyes. You never realized how badly your neighbors stank, but something rank and repulsive rises from them as they pack together in their room. How much did you
pay, Sinahio?
It's Grind, the head fisherman, jabbing a furious finger toward the back of the room. Sinehiud, your erstwhile mayor, squirms in a corner, pinned by the accusing stares of the entire village. Oh, those eyes. Their cruel porcine eyes. And they're watching Sinehiud with the dumb gluttony of hogs staring at fodder. The only sight that turns your stomach more is Sinehiud himself trying to wriggle free of his own lies.
Mr. Galvino and I came to an agreement. It was for the good of Stalwart. I thought...
You thought
woman.
you'd let a killer walk among us?
Oh no! Cries of fierce agreement rise from the others. What began as a collective grumbling is swelling and congealing like storm clouds. You look back at your husband. He's whispering to Uldric, but when you catch his eye, he directs a silent supplication to you.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yes, let's. This is not the person I'm looking for, obviously. Could have gotten further in DS2 if I had a human player to help me navigate the maze. When you're playing, I would be better than an NPC. So when is actual launch day for it? Buying it on PS5. Oh, I don't know if it's cross-compatible. That's a good question. Release is September, but no cross-compatibility. Elder Gun, good evening. How's it going? You turn again and your husband is beckoning you with swift chopping motions, but what stops your breath is Uldric. His little eyes are fixed on the churning mob, and you knew ever since you started hearing about those hideous purges that he'd see something like this one day. But it'd have to be so soon? It's what drove that devil woman to madness, and now his little eyes have gotten big enough to swallow the whole scene, and now he's seeing you as a part of it. You want to leave now, but if you do, this is what your boy will remember. Cowardice and madness. About people, about Stalwart, about you. The people around you jostle and bark in their rage. They're dangerous animals, but animals nonetheless. They just need to be led. So you push your way to the end of the room, where Sinehiud trembles in a puddle of his own piss.
Enough.
Ooh, sorry. August 3rd on PC, September on PS5. So August 3rd, Delson, there we go. Your voice boils up from your throat. The others fall silent, watching you. They listen dumbly, trusting as you turn Sinehiod's death sentence into an exile. No one contradicts you when you explain that he's going to march out of this village alone and into whatever miserable hamlet will have him. They silently agree when you explain that their hands are too clean for the likes of him. But there's something else forming behind his eyes, a kernel of trust and dependence. You feel it curdling around you, encasing you like a pearl does sand. You only wanted to spare Sinehiod's life, not volunteer for his job, but you see so much fear simmering just beneath their expressions. Fear at godmen. What are godmen? Marching through the mountains, at Deerwoodens and their purges, at dying the slow and lonely death of a ghost town. And you see their grateful reassurance mirrored in Uldric's expression. Perhaps this place is hopeless, but you realize that you can't leave it any more than you could leave your boy. The only person who isn't looking at you is your husband. He's shaking his head, his eyes on the door. You retreat from Renengild's memory. Vivid though it has nothing to do with Durgan's battery. You got the look of someone with teeth around a secret. Her cold fingers are locked around your arm. Her black eyes search you.
I wouldn't call it a secret. It's more like a mysterious thing he doesn't like to talk about.
What's on your mind?
Nothing,
Before you
that's
go, trappers haven't seen Baragon's ogres for a spell. I hear we've got you to thank for that. Whole village is resting easier.
Yeah, I killed them. Oh, Delson, enjoy D&D. Have fun. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Give it some thought. Joba and I were planning on playing it together before we separated. Now that we're doing better, I think we might still have... Okay, that's fair. Currently editing EDF footage. Definitely going to be longer than the last one. I got some good thumbnail ideas. Excellent. Earth Defense Force. It's a game where you shoot bugs. It's actually really
cleaned
fun.
up the rooms at the Grave's Rest, and Eaterin supply lines have finally opened up again. Thought you ought to know.
All right.
I sure hope you were right about killing.
You reach for Uldric's essence and find yourself staring at a fence post, lying in a filthy slush of frozen mud. Snow gathers around your legs and trickles into your boots. A wind nips at you even through layers of furs. You hold a wood chisel in one numb hand and a mallet in the other, kneeling over the fence post as you get to work. Hour after hour you hammer away, feeling the tools grow heavy in your grip as your breath fogs your vision. You want to do better work than this. You can do better work than this. But no one's building new houses in Stalwart. The last table you crafted was put into the fishery, and pike entrails now trace the fine dovetail joints you so lovingly carved. Now you mend the stockade, because that's what's needed. The chisel slips, skidding alongside your hand. You gasp, but you hold up your hand and see, much to your relief, all 5 fingers wriggling back at you. You need to get out of this town. You pull back from Uldric's soul. He's still staring into the fire, seemingly lost in his own memories.
Something else you need?
Giant alien bugs. It is way more fun if you don't play it solo. I hope my computer handles it all right. Okay. We don't know Tana. There are people at the Grass Rest. It's night. We could sneak into the fishery while we're here.
Me and Sledge are thinking about heading down, joining the caravan over the Dawning.
Don, what for? You like your ogres bigger?
We'd have work at least. And I'm damn sick
What the
of fish.
heck? What just happened? A dozen pair of globular eyes stare up piteously from the discarded heads of the day's catch, awash in a pungent sea of fins and innards. Sift through the fish scraps. Your hand runs up against something round and fleshy, the size of a melon. It is smooth and scaleless, and parts seem to be covered in hair. A discarded head, perhaps? But not that of a fish. Pull it out. With one hand on either side of the head, you begin to lift it out of the barrel, only to have it leap from your grasp as the head's owner springs over the lip of the barrel in an eruption of fish chunks that rain down over the market stall. Who is this guy? Definitely set a time with Topher then. Agreed. If we see Topher tonight, I'll be sure to ask him. The man who leapt from the barrel stands facing you, nearly naked save for a loincloth, and drizzled in fish viscera. He is covered head to toe in scars, tears and punctures, and the thorny imprints of lashings. Most are faded like old memories. Despite that, the condition of the man's body is remarkable. The drooping skin at his flanks and elbows, the only evidence of his advanced age. His face is placid, but the rest of him appears prepared for anything.
You must forgive, Zawa. I was not expecting you.
He looks you in the eye at first, but his gaze drifts now and then, settling on strange parts of your face as though distracted by new discoveries. If he is at all flustered, he gives no indication. What are you doing in the barrel? Zawa scratches behind his ear, dismayed.
Resting my eyes, I thought. Waiting for the Malka show to bring me insight. It would seem I dozed. Good thing my master was not alive to see it.
He must be a monk. Zawa blinks, leaning in to get a better look at you. His enlarged pupils seem to crowd his pale irises.
Are you real?
I love how it says yes, and then you can lie and say yes. Yes, lie, yes. Also, you can say no as a lie or as truth. There's no way to be certain.
We shall let the matter rest.
That's it. There's no way to be certain.
Until the Malkachoa wears off.
Malkachoa?
A small white mushroom. I have heard it called snowcap in these lands.
Oh, he's a drug addict.
It can reveal the true nature of many things.
The man traces your inadvertent glances at his scars. He smiles politely.
A teacher, not an owner. Zawa is a free man. Well, as free as anything.
I wonder if it might.
I was freeing myself from vanity.
Did he say sanity or vanity?
Consider, how can one be vain who is bathed in the smell of dead fish?
There's a proud glint in his eyes. Oh, but now you've got the pride. Hard to argue with that. I hardly know the smell. It helps to be this handsome. Scars are probably just as effective. Hard to argue with that.
I had the idea when I passed this way earlier. I am pleased with the results so far.
Buy a copy on GOG and we'll see. Excellent. Smiles at a woman whose head is swiveled toward him as she passes by, a look of revulsion on her face. Distracted, her toe catches on a stone and she nearly falls on her face. He claps his hands together.
Yes, quite pleased.
You don't seem like you're from around
I was visiting a
here.
monastery, not far from here. I found it empty, but I met a messenger as I left. He carried a call for aid. Seeing that he would find no monks at the monastery, I chose to go in their place. Zawa is no longer young, but in combat he is still the greatest of the Takan people. It seemed only right that he should go.
Oh, those scars are from battle? Zawa glances down at his
From
body.
battle, yes. I left them upon my enemies.
Went to the various patches of crisscrossing
These were
scars.
struck against fear. These against pleasure. These against hatred. Those down there against greed and
Oh,
vanity.
he did this to himself.
These were for vanity. I cannot take credit for all of them, but I did most of the good ones. I put them there in battle to remind myself what is real and what is not. Our worst enemies are inventions of the mind, pleasure, fear. When we see them for what they are, we become unstoppable.
And you have achieved this?
I feel I have been close, but never for more than an instant. In the moment when the pain is sharpest, the world becomes clear. In that moment, I am a match for anyone. Of course, I am fortunate to have suffered so much. If I did not
I'm
suffer,
assuming this guy
I
is
would
going to
not
be another
aspire
party
to
member.
free myself from it. I would wander from one unfulfilling goal to the next. More wealth, a better station. My soul would wither. But to search for a place beyond suffering's reach is to nurture the soul, to harden it against the elements.
Clenches his fist in illustration.
Suffering is the greatest gift the gods have given us. Their most beautiful, perfect creation. It is the hand that turns the wheel. I would not say I am hired. I seek no wage, and I promise no result. I have chosen a path, and my spoils come from walking it.
An uneasy frown settles on his face, almost a wince.
And this fortress, this Durgan's battery, its people are gone. Zawa would know why.
If you seek the White Forge as well, I could use the help of an experienced warrior. Zawa's face tilts upward, his eyes fixing on the sky. He remains motionless, entranced. At length, he blinks as if awakening and looks back at you. He shrugs cheerily.
If one wishes to swim, it is no time to argue with the current. We are here together in this moment because a perfect force has willed it. Who is Zawa to argue?
Right? He's got a great voice.
I will walk with you so long as the gods wish it so.
All right, let's be on our way then. Too bad I don't really have a place for you. I could replace Durance. Man, but I'm getting very, very heavy on melee classes at this point. We got 1, 2, yeah, we could go 1, 2, 3. That would be 4. I think I'm just gonna keep the guys I've got. Okay, now it's almost daytime. It's probably too late for me to do this now. It took me way too long to talk to him.
Times like this, I don't miss my sense of smell.
You reach into the barrel and find a bracelet. A thick aura of essence clings to it. Fresh with memory, you feel yourself drawn into it. In the memory, you stride into the fishery. The floors are swept clean, but the wood is still splotched with snowmelt and fish guts. A man hunkers in the corner, his head nodding forward as if in sleep. He looks up drowsily as you approach. It's Grind. His face is youthful but sallow, and his hair hangs in stringy locks. You feel a pang of anger and pity at your brother's debauchery.
Arda.
His voice is little more than a croak.
It's past midnight.
Your throat feels tight. Grinda wipes at his nose, then examines the mingled blood and powder on the back of his hand. He shrugs. Your fingers clench around coarse, thick fabric, your father's best wool cloak tucked under your arm.
Go! To raid Ceres, or Defiance Bay, or fucking Air Glonfoth. I don't care!
You hurl it at the ingrate huddled on the floor. He picks up the cloak and looks at it with the same sort of dull wonder. He wipes his nose on the lining. A sudden rush of fury leaves your limbs weak and raw.
I'll tell them. Mayor Cena healed. The neighbors. Everyone.
About what?
The stealing. You think I haven't noticed the money missing from the fishery coffers? Or heard Tana talk about losing a golden duke?
You whisper, afraid even now that someone will overhear you, and the words scorch your throat.
You can't be found when there's work to do. But every time those merchant wagons roll into town, you've got coin enough for a few bags of ripple sponge.
No, it's not.
Oh, uh-oh.
Stalwart tolerates your sponge habit, but they won't abide your thieving.
You touch your bracelet, a gift from Mother, plucking at the beads.
You won't.
He rises, steadier on his feet than you would have thought.
I will.
You stride toward him. Oh, he's not going to say this line? I wouldn't have shamed Mother and Father while they were living, but I won't let this keep up. Your anger swallows the last of your pity. Anger at him for putting you in this position, for doubting your resolve, for failing to see. You're close enough to smell his stale, sour breath when he pushes you. You fall, watching his widening eyes and the ceiling spinning into your vision. Isn't this just like him? Grinda with his fool tantrums, never thinking of anybody but himself, and now you're going to be nursing a headache for a week. Just goes to show you can't help some people. But you remember him too, your baby brother running through the snow, slipping, falling on ice, and you're slipping and falling, and there's a table behind you, but it shouldn't. The memory ends abruptly, jolting you back into the present with your heart hammering and your palms sweating. Oh no, she died. The fishery door creaks open and in walks Grinda, staring at you and the bracelet in surprise and outrage. His face drains of
You
color.
take shelter in our village and then ransack it like a common thief? You better explain yourself.
Galvino told me you were a ripple sponge addict. Seems you're much more
Any
than
who put
that.
stock in the ravings of that bitter old fool deserve all the trouble they get.
You killed your sister Arda right here in this room. He opens his mouth to reply, but the words catch in his throat. The guard next to him stares at the bracelet, recognition turning to horror.
Worth coming back for this alone.
It was an accident. I was a failure and a wretch then. But I never would have killed anyone. Least of all my own kin. I gave her body to the lake. But I kept her bracelet. To remember the cost of my own weakness.
So he killed her and then he... Even if it was an accident, he killed her and then he covered it up.
I ain't asking for forgiveness. I know I don't deserve any. My penance is my work on behalf of the village. And they need it, truly. You've seen the shape this place is in. Have mercy on Stalwart, if not on me. Let me do the work Arda would have done. That's my debt to Stalwart, and the only fitting way to honor my sister.
Whew. Oh, man.
Kept thinking I could get by this way. But I guess you're right. It's time they knew the truth about me.
I feel like a horrible, horrible person now. Like, there was nothing good came out of this. That's a very depressing, sad story. Okay, so it is going to have to be someone with a name that we are looking for.
Huh. Say, I don't suppose
Wait, who are
you've
you?
seen any mysterious old buildings in the mountains lately, have you?
The Amaua wears an assortment of bangles, bands, cuffs, and chains as thick as armor. She watches you with a raised eyebrow and eyes gleaming with mirth. You mean Durgan's battery?
No, but I've heard that name a lot around here.
You probably play a barbarian.
I'm looking for the Abbey
I
of
think
the
I'm going to
Fallen
have to
Moon.
go,
It's an obscure
Warlock.
temple dedicated to Andra.
An Abbey of the Fallen Moon. Why are you looking for the
I'm
Abbey?
a gift bearer. My job is to gather tokens of things people want forgotten and surrender them to the Lady of Lament.
Man, we are not moving
Best
very
place to do
fast.
that
I
is
really
the
thought
Abbey
we'd be
of the
further
Fallen
into this
Moon.
DLC. This DLC might be longer than I expected. What kind of tokens do you take?
Anything that represents a moment or a memory someone wishes to leave behind.
Oh, there's a guy over here with a bracelet.
Well, love notes, awkward family heirlooms, bad poetry, the kinds of things you want to forget.
I see.
I might be here a while. Half the villagers have never heard of the Abbey, and the ones that have, no one knows where it is.
Need to do Wizard Artificer so I can craft as much as I can.
So I'm trying to think of this as an extended holiday in a remote mining village that smells like fish.
I've got business in the region. We could travel
You
together.
won't regret it. I've got a lovely singing voice.
Wait, is she a bard?
I like her already.
Me too. She is a barbarian. Okay.
You walk your path,
I want to see what she does. Journey to the Abbey of the Fallen Moon. A barbarian, yes. Just what we need. And she has Minaha's armor. Barbarian, she needs some heavy weapons. She needs this super fine battle axe. Now I don't know which one she's actually wielding. That's bonus crit damage and fine. Bonus crit damage, burning lash, slaying. This is the one she needs. You can come over here. And then for her offhand, she's got a fine sword, but that's all it's got. Scepters are two-handed. Ravenwing mace. Yes, that seems good. That seems like a good duo right there. An axe and a mace. Would a barbarian be a deathmatch? I would hope. Two-handed morning star. What is this? This staff. Drake's bell. That would be a decent two-hander. Although just leaving her with the two-handed morning star sounds like a good plan. Yeah, let's put it back over here. And go low to high, and then switch back to high to low, and see what the first two-hander. The first two-hander we've got is this sword. So we'll give her that. She's probably gonna stay dual wielding though. All right. For as far as armor goes, her current armor has a damage resist of 7. It's fine. It's of speed. It has a healing bonus. We're gonna leave her in that, I think. Wait, this is speed, range, and deflection bonus. Oh, that might be better. And she looks cooler in that anyway. All right, now she needs something to go on her head. She's got just a cape with nothing. Non-enchanted cape. Cloth bandana. That looks terrible. Nope, these are all gonna look dumb. I don't like it. I want something that looks good. It all looks terrible. Can I enchant this cloth bandana? Yuck. Yuck. None of it looks good. Maybe she's gonna have to go without a head thing. I don't know if can they be enchanted? They can't even be enchanted, so it's not worth it. So that part doesn't matter then, I guess. Okay, so we've got a waist. Perception, unconquerable. There we go, replace that. Oh, we've got other things. Look at this, Mordecai hood. Ooh. Creepy. There we go. That's the one. That's the ticket. Ramhorn helm. Here's a ring. Wait, she can't wear that? Oh, because it's priest only. Here's a neck. Defiance and concentration, no. There's a ring she can wear. There's a ring she can wear. That's it. We don't have any more boots or hands. Okay, and what are her abilities?
Lead the way.
She's got Barbaric Blow, Barbaric Yell, Savage Defiance, Heart of Fury, and Barbaric Shout.
Didn't think there was anything more than lice and hoarfrost to these folk, but you had a look
If
back.
I was a bard, I've been singing songs from Journey.
What do you find when you're rooting around like that?
Sometimes things I'd rather not see. That's pretty accurate. Usually somebody else's bad choices. You seem rather interested in these villagers all of a sudden.
Mayhap
Why?
I'm looking for someone. Woodcutter by the name of Harmka.
Tell me why you want to find
so
him.
I can kill him. Wrap my fingers around his throat.
Oh,
and his
what?
cold
Why?
as This wretched village. He was one of them. The mob that destroyed Cold Morn.
Who's Cold Morn?
I tracked him to Stalwart years ago, but got caught before I could finish my business.
Dark, iridescent whirls appear and fade on her chest plate. Heat ripples from her metal carapace. Sounds like there's more to it. This one's personal
This
for you.
man, Harmka. I saw him outside my house the night it burned, staring into the flames. The way
Oh,
I've
now we
seen
know
him
why she was
stare
burning
into
people
soul.
alive.
I knew it were a fool's errand trying to hunt down every man and woman that carried a torch into Cold Morn. But
She twists her head from side to side and holds up a hand, the delicately engraved palm empty but grasping at something.
if I knew I got the one responsible for my kin and my hearth, I might could rest easy. I took a good long look that night. Ours was a little place with a yellow door right on the edge of town. He was there. Besides, I asked around when I first got to Stalwart. Townsfolk said that all the woodcutters in town took part in the purge. Point of pride for them.
Ooh.
I told you he was part of the mob. I spotted him watching my house when it burned. But when we find him, I want to know if he's the one responsible for my home, my parents, and my brothers and sister. I never thought I'd have the chance to know for sure. But you could look into his soul and find out. You being a watcher and all.
Yeah, I'll
Mighty
do
fine
that.
of you. Mighty
Maybe
fine
she's
indeed.
not as evil as she seemed. She was out for
Don't
vengeance.
know where he dallies these days, but someone in Stalwart could tell us. People from little villages, they always know.
Can do.
Wait, is that him? That's a dwarf. I'll find it without your help. No giving up, you hear me? The wax maker added quest expires in 1 day. Rewards 35% experience, the Hell Wax Mold, 750 to 2,000 copper in their treasury, and a major item. Okay, in the southern Adir province of Maganon, the wizard and inventor Galef spent decades creating devices that could mimic magical effects and properties. His fellow wizards viewed Galef's work with disdain, but one area of research intrigued even the elitists: a device that could replicate entire magical objects. The key to Galef's research was an enchanted mold. When Galef died of old age, his remote workshop was eventually plundered by southern barbarians who had been sacking the province for years. All of his work was believed to have been lost. Recently, an anonymous patron has been inquiring across the Eastern Reach for aid in recovering some of Galef's research notes using leads that were discovered by unknown means. It doesn't say what we're trying to do. Can we assign more than one? No. Aloth is assigned because it's about magic, so Aloth is my magic guy. Akron? A dwarf paces with his head down and arms crossed, only stopping to hurl glances at the building behind him. His face is smeared dark with grime, and soot falls from his beard as he mumbles to himself. Work my hands into bloody stumps in this place, and for what? He kicks at a mound of dirty snow. Start with nothing, leave with less. He extends his arm out. Who are you yelling at? At idiots, that's who. And I'm as much to blame for believing them. The dwarf wrinkles his nose, nostrils flaring like a horse. Well, good riddance. Should have never settled here in the first place. Some things you mean to leave behind, come to find out you packed them anyway. But I'm not leaving until I recover what's mine. They can't deny me again, not after this. Akron gestures at the burnt-out buildings. Those sweet-tongued priests took my heirlooms. Bury the memory of my past, they said. Now I don't have even that. What priests? Only ones here. They occupied the temple some time ago, picking at desperate folk like vultures. Those priests, Andra's dogs, said the goddess would forgive, but some things are best left to be forgotten. He nods towards the nearby temple. Their leader, Lafta, I believed her words. One of them, a gift bearer, took my medallion. He closes his stocking. Uh-oh, I have one of those. And now they won't tell me where it is. Maybe there's something I can do. Not the kind of talk that I've grown used to these last few years, I admit. The priests may pretend otherwise, but folk here tend to look only after themselves. I'd be surprised if they return it willingly. They believe it's a sacred duty to cast the offerings to the goddess in some place where they'll be forgotten. Better to find where they dropped them, I think. Okay, what is the medallion? It belonged to my sister. It was just a pretty trinket to her. To me, she was the last of my family. Last that still acted like family to me. I want to know about your past before you settled here. What's Lofta's role? She leads that group of crows. They took over the temple as folks started to leave. Came to unburden those that sought to forget their misery here, they say. What else did you give to the priest? The dwarf casts a measuring look at you. He quickly turns his head away and nods. You'd understand its value. My armor, a set finer than I've ever seen, but worthless to an old dwarf. I'd have traded it for the medallion, but fool that I was, I gave them both. If I can help with anything, just ask. Okay, we'll go find it. I don't expect luck to grace you now, but if you find anything, I'll be here. Count on it. Make a duplicate of the cursed sword, because curse both of your hands. Oh boy. So you're just gonna start singing the theme song to Supernatural? I know it's more than that.
Oh, it's working! Yes! I can't believe it! It's really...
Oh. This woman in her hands is a large rectangular box covered in strange dials and symbols. What's working?
My ore locating divination tool. Well, that's what it will be. I have to calibrate it. Right now it seems to think you're a copper deposit.
Oh. The Devil of Carrot makes a grating, garbled noise, like clearing her throat.
My animancer contacts did suggest that a particular strong soul essence might interfere. I'm more interested in minerals in any case.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to recreate the instruments that first led the Parkroom dwarves to this mountain. This is my latest prototype.
Okay, I like her.
Centuries ago,
she's not a person I think I can take with me, but
followed their readings to what is now the battery. If I can recreate their work, then I may be able to find ore deposits elsewhere. I was hoping to test it, but my arrival was delayed by word of the ogre attack. I haven't been able to find any.
It is a cool magic item.
Since. Really? That'd be wonderful. I just have to adjust the device, you see.
Her hands move swiftly over the box, adjusting knobs and dials.
Toward metal deposits. We already know the battery rests on some rich veins, but I was hoping to get a reading of the surrounding mountainside. If you can follow the readings to ore and bring back a sample, I can use it to refine the device.
Okay.
Thanks ever so much for this.
Don't point that thing at me. We're getting just more quests every second. Right? Everyone should have a magic metal detector. It'll point you to all your magic metals. I'm thinking we're not going to finish this game by the end of next week. There's Lofta, none of these other people. Oh, you have a name. Texidal. A young man dressed in sturdy leathers glares at you. The creases in his face, tanned despite the scarce sunlight of the region, suffer a slight twitch as you approach him. I've got nothing for you. Speak with Lofta if you must. Veins course under the woman's pale skin like icy fissures, yet when she speaks, her voice flows warm and soothing. Andra welcomes you into her embrace. Features soften into a look of practiced compassion. We're here to ease the pain of your past, ready to take your burdens. With a thin smile, she nods. If you let the goddess help with your hardships, of course. Tell me about Andra. Andra is the goddess of redemption, deep like an ocean and gentle as a mother. She's here to relieve her children of their darkest burdens. We came here to aid the villagers, to heal the wounds of the past that fester in their souls. Thought Andra was the goddess of loss and mourning, not redemption. That's a... Priestess crosses her arms and shifts her weight. Common notion. You've never seen Supernatural? Oh, I liked it. It might have gone on a little long, but I enjoyed it. Others may believe so, but the goddess's mysteries are profound. Her true power lies in redeeming your loss and regret. Is there something else you want to talk about? I want to know about gift bearers. Gift bearers do Andra's most valued work. They carry the material burdens of unfortunate souls into her embrace so that the goddess may help them forget. This is the religion I need to start. I need to just start the religion where it's like, oh, you have guilt. Give me something that makes you feel guilty, and I'll see that it's gotten rid of. Just everybody just give me all your stuff. The dwarf already asked. We gave him the counsel he needed. Slight irritation sharpens her tone. She seems to catch herself modulating her voice back to a pleasant timbre. And naturally, we'll do what we can for you too. Ask what you will. Akron wants his medallion back. She brings her hands together and nods. Ah, Akron. How often we let the shadow of the past become a burden even to others. That medallion, it weighs on Akron's mind. You're kind to help, but what he really needs is to cast away these memories. Isn't that for him to decide? He's changed his mind. As a priest, you must listen. No right of appeal then. How convenient. He's lost everything. How can you take away the only thing left from his past? Isn't that for him to decide? He did. He understood the solace that the goddess can give to those like him. It was explained to him that many have second thoughts, but one does not withdraw something offered to a goddess. In time, the memories fade, and they come to see the wisdom of their original pledge. His belongings, his past, now rest in Andra's realm, to be forgotten, so that the wounds of the soul may heal. This is the will of the goddess. The will of mortals or gods has never stopped me before. Lofta's expression breaks and she takes a step back. Her cohorts reach for their weapons. She immediately raises her hand. No, we have nothing to fear. The ripples in her voice quickly calm. There's no need to quarrel over the mysteries of the goddess's will. I'll tell you what you wish to know. Akron's heirloom was taken by Ixtli, chosen gift-bearer among us, to be cast away as an offering to Andra. Only he knows where. She pauses and looks at you intently. You could ask him yourself, but he's on a trek through the mountains of Durgan's battery. If you run into Ixtli, tell him he has urgent duties to attend here. Okay. So we'll find the gift bearer, I guess. Another chapter. You're on chapter 3. How many chapters are there, do you know? As you step outside, the heavy wooden door of the temple slams shut behind you. You hear someone barring it from the other side. It sounds like the priests have engaged in agitated conversation. You get the sense that they are discussing you, but you're also certain that the door is too thick to eavesdrop. Although there may be other places nearby where you'd stand a better chance.
All that time fighting upon the sea. Oh, you must have some great stories.
The wooden shutters of the temple's windows closed tight, muffle a set of voices coming from within the building. You can't quite make sense of the murmur, but cracking a shutter open would likely help. The rusty iron latch holds the window shutters closed. With care, you should be able to unfasten it without being noticed. You carefully begin to lift the latch from its metal hook. Halfway there, the rusted iron resists with a screech. You freeze, listening to the voices and hopes the priest didn't hear. Their conversation continues uninterrupted. Do I have some oil? You grab the latch and apply just the right amount of oil, nudging the metal until its rust gives way with a sound. Carefully, you pull the window shutters open enough to let the voices flow through. You hear a man speaking, his tone agitated. You do that. Hope the mountains will do it. What if Ix... His sentence cuts as if the man were speaking to all sides of the room. Suppose he tells them instead. What then? You've lost an item oil, that's fine. You recognize Lofta's voice responding. Why would he? And with all those dangers near the battery, our gift bearer won't delay. I expect that... The man interrupts her. You always expect. Look where that's taken us. A dying village. Ogres at the walls. Ixtli's not back yet. And now I have to do his pet. His voice drops and ceases, muffling what he has to say. After a moment, Lofta replies, Do you think I wanted this? That I could have known in advance? A pause ensues, its tension growing until the priestess' voice cuts it in half. Okay. We can't wait for him. We must fish out the last batch quickly. After that, we'll decide. The man responds in a broken voice, barely audible. You only distinguish the last words. In that russet wood pond, I'll go. Their exchange seems to end. Cautiously, you step away from the window of Andra's temple.
The rot gut and cannon blasts knocked most of them out of my head. Those were good days.
You ought to meet my sister.
Find the gift bearer or search the waters of the russet wood.
Little coastal town. Definitely.
So we're still looking for a dwarf. We've got to find the dwarf, and then we've got to do the russet wood. Oh man, there's so much to do. Would you happen to possess an old helm or a horn that looks like it's supposed to be attached to a helm? Opens a compartment in the wagon, pulls out a cracked horn partially wrapped in cloth. One of the villagers sold me this during a previous visit. He said it came from some rare lake creature and was quite valuable. It's been dismissed as junk whenever I've tried to resell it, unless you know otherwise. Part of an artifact. It's largely worthless. However, I know a collector for that sort of thing if the price is right. How much to take it off your hands? Well, I'd like to make a profit for my trouble. 400 pans is the price. All right, I'm down. Garad. The world fades and your vision blurs. When it returns, you find yourself in the icy waters of a bay, your body numb from the cold and your lungs burning from exertion. Nearby are Ardal and Badrin. Badruin? I don't know. Both of them are swimming madly in an effort to pass you. On the distant shore await the other members of your tribe, and with them Olara, daughter of the chieftain. It is for her hand that the three of you are competing today. Give up, Garad. Ardal passes you, and despite your best efforts, you can't quite catch up. You look around to see where Badruin is. Badruin? And it's by sheer chance that you catch sight of the sea serpent's head surging towards your group. As before the world stops, the memories trail lost with your guidance. Attack the serpent. Your fatigue falls away as you turn to face the serpent. It charges you, its jaws wide, its foot-long teeth flashing in the sunlight. At the last moment, you dodge to the side as its jaws snap shut. Your hair too slow, and one of the serpent's horns tears open your forearm to the bone. You grate your teeth against the sudden pain and wrap your arms around the serpent's neck before it can turn around. It thrashes and rolls wildly, trying to throw you off. You hang on for dear life, weaker with every breath as your blood drains. You do the only thing you think of, and jam your fist straight through the serpent's eye, burying your arm as far as it can go. The serpent whips around in agony, and your grip slips. You tumble through the air as your consciousness fades. The race. How could I have forgotten the events of that day? Garad looks at his hands. I remember it now, but I feel no different yet. Please, you must find the last part of my helm. Okay. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it. Still no dwarves, though. Alright, let's go check in with this guy. Individual characters can enter scouting mode.
Welcome.
Thirsk's soul is a vibrant, stolid thing, and as you reach out for it with your senses, you see your breath begin to fog in the air. You find yourself far above the ground, wedged into the juncture of two branches. The moonlight is bright upon the snow, and in the distance your quarry steps out onto the ice as if onto an illuminated stage. You still your breath and draw back your arrow. Warmth bleeds back into your limbs, frost and snow giving way to the smoky interiors of Thirsk's home. Okay, wrong guy. Still not the right guy. Where beer is, so are dwarves. All right, so let's go to the inn. Maybe. Someday. Hunter. Passing the hot springs along the way.
Please, tell me you found it. I've got a craving like you wouldn't believe.
You know anything about a man called Harmka?
Harmka. Saw him head out some time ago. You can usually find him and some others out in the russet wood.
Oh, there we go. We got another reason to go to the russet wood.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Are we the supporting cast in a revenge ballad now? They never make it to the final verse.
Is there anything else? Take care.
I forget what he's got us looking for. We have so many side quests now.
You find anything?
Read Hersel. In front of you, Fira's swaddled hands work quickly to bundle and tie a parcel. With you are a man and another woman, both similarly occupied. The three of you stand in a small hut. It's nearly bare but for the rickety table before you, and 3 cheap cots piled with furs. The man hefts his parcel like something rare and precious.
That's the last.
Oh, there.
Check the rest of the supplies while I load these.
You sure about the route?
The other woman, Francesca, looks up at you. Her face is mostly covered by a fur hat and several layers of thick-knit kerchiefs, but her voice is clear enough.
Not much choice. Snows have covered most of the other passes. This one gets just enough traffic to stay open.
You feel the answer ring out of your own throat. The thought doesn't bring either of you much comfort. You don't mention the real issue, which is that Lynam's made up his mind. Francesca stares at you for several seconds, apparently thinking the same thing. You can't see her expression clearly enough to tell whether she's resigned or preparing an argument. She shoves out the door without another word. Fira stands in front of you, distracted with the contents of her mug. She doesn't seem to have noticed your momentary lapse. Andred, it's our ogre-slaying friend. Have they crowned you King of Stalwart yet? My friend doesn't mean to be an ass, sir. It just comes natural. What? I'd want a crown. Read Andred's soul. A handful of memories dart across your mind like startled fish, leaving indistinct images and sounds in their wake. For a moment, you are overwhelmed until one particular recollection tugs at your senses with stubborn force. You, or Andred, or both, kneel on a stone floor, held between 2 men. The man pacing in front of you wears the armor of a crucible knight, and you feel Andred's half-hearted contempt for him as if it were your own. You feel Andred's triumph, too, when the knight comes just close enough for you to spit blood onto his boots. The memory slips away from you, and you find yourself back in your own shoelaces, or in your own shoes. Okay, I didn't get to read the other guy's soul. Read Brithwin's soul. The whiff of salt and brine is in your nostrils before the room has even faded. The ground heaves beneath your feet, and a spray of ocean water roars over the railing as the ship heels under the wind. The ship shudders violently, and you are thrown against the railing. In that moment, you find your gaze pulled to the pitching surface of the dark sea, and see there an eye, broad as a shield, gazing back at you in turn. Fear and fascination sweeps through your mind, even as your senses recede and the memory fades.
Oh, it's you. I'm so glad you came by.
Katie!
I hoped I'd have the chance to thank you properly.
That's the woman we rescued, isn't it?
They told me what happened. God's bless you, sir. I owe you my life. I know it was foolish of me to run in there, but this ring is all that I have of my family.
Oh, how are you holding up?
Oh, I'm managing. Fenway's letting me stay with her until I'm back on my feet. Everyone's been lovely, really. It was hard seeing what's left of the house. But Rayvald says he's going to see a hut raised for me soon as they get the logs.
I'm looking for some Finland liquor.
Funny. Rayvald was just in here asking after the same thing. Guess that stuff really is popular. Averick has some, but he says the Fenland stuff's not for sale. And he's rigged up the cellar like a battlefield trying to keep people out. Sorry. If anyone deserves a drink, it's you, sir. But I don't think I could convince him.
Oh, I understand. I'm not going to have her steal it either. I might not do that quest. Okay. We're still looking for someone who could be a dwarf. Oh, the Halfrick is a dwarf.
Back to warm your hands, eh? What can I do for you?
Thought you might want to know that Rayfold asked me to steal your liquor.
He did he? Suppose he didn't expect you to be the honest sort.
But I
Put it
am.
away somewhere safe. Thank you for doing the decent thing. Here, for your honesty.
There we go.
Back to warm your hands,
Read his
eh?
soul. You see a room, dark and damp. A cellar. It looks like part of the inn rather than an old fortress. Through Halfrick's eyes, you admire rows of gleaming bottles recently dusted and polished. As you step back from the shelves, you look on with satisfaction at a pressure plate concealed in the stone
You
floor.
alright? I won't serve you if you're already drunk, you know.
I'm all good. Do any of these people have names? If they don't have names, I can stop talking to them. Villager. A winner.
I can do for you.
Oh, it's gonna be a winner,
Straight
isn't
in
it?
your rooms, but I'll help you if I can.
It's because, like, she's never had any other thing you can interact with her. She just says farewell. You feel for Owina's essence and almost instantly find yourself wrapped in darkness. It takes you a moment to realize that you've plunged into a very old memory. But as your eyes adjust to the torchlight, you find yourself standing in a gloomy tunnel that you instinctively recognize as part of Durgan's battery. A handful of figures in patchy cloaks and hoods, dwarves like you, hunch over a minecart. They're loading it with cloth-wrapped bundles from which you see the occasional flash of metal, the edge of a blade, or the burnished glow of plate. The other dwarves scurry with a curious mixture of haste and caution. They stack the bundles in a din of muted clangs and thumps, following the echoes of their ruckus down the tunnel with nervous eyes. Pay attention. Oh, never mind.
Sooner we get this done, sooner we can go.
Your voice is a dry whisper and your nerves tingle with energy. You feel the same apprehension that the others do, but unlike them, you relish it. Still, you look over your shoulder just in case.
We're hurrying, Captain Gregor. Honest.
When you turn back, the others have redoubled their efforts and you feel a pleasurable twist in your guts as they fill the cart. Being captain of the guard doesn't pay much, but it does allow you to visit the armory without raising eyebrows. And with Coinmaster Zoltan selling off half of the battery's arsenal, who's going to notice a few more missing pieces? Besides, you've got a buyer lined up, as long as you can move these goods out of the battery before someone squeals. As you surface from the memory, you realize that an awakening will be permanent for Owina. There may be others in town you could awaken instead. You look up to find Owina staring at you.
Sir? Excuse me, sir. You alright?
Okay, I'm not going to awaken her yet. I'm going to look for another option. I don't want her to have to, like, go from being this super nice dwarf who cleans the inn to being a thief. I'm going to assume that I have to find a dwarf. For a moment, your senses are overwhelmed. There are fumbling hands at your belt and your own low laughter in your ears. Your shoulder is jammed up against the cabinet and it rattles every time Brithwin leans down to kiss you. There's a sedate pleasure to the memory, but nothing in it has much to do with the battery. Okay, we're looking for another dwarf. That's all the dwarves in the inn. But we've got a couple more buildings to explore. Let's start by getting out of here.
You must gather your party before venturing.
We may have
forth.
to come back if we don't find someone soon. I hate to do it. It just seems like there has to be a better option. She's so nice. Okay, this Tana's house is I think the only one. Oh wait, there's like another building right here. I don't know what that is. I don't think we've been in Tana's house.
They gone? I heard the ogres outside, tearing down walls and murdering folk. Don't remember how things got this bad.
The elderly woman kneads her hands. Her knuckles are swollen knobs, and her palms are ridged with calluses that scrape and rasp as she rubs them together.
But you're the new adventurer. Renengild's latest volunteer.
She squints at you, leaning precariously forward on her wobbling legs.
A real spitfire, she told me. Bet you'd whip those layabouts at the mine into shape.
You feel her essence humming and buzzing. Another personality and set of memories lies dormant within her soul, convulsing as if in fitful sleep. The contours of that dormant soul are sharp, ragged. As you reach out for it, it seizes you violently. You're standing in a darkened feast hall. Sturdy tables and benches have been stacked against the door in the far end of the room. You know it won't be enough. A few dozen other dwarves from your tunneling crew wait with you, shovels and pickaxes in their shaking hands.
Zenove, please. If we go now, we can get behind the barricade. We won't do any good here.
He's right, and you hear agreements in the quiet murmur of the others. But Arms Warden Maroon ordered you to hold your ground here. Yet in those rising whispers you hear the opening bars of mutiny. You've never tolerated insubordination from your crew, and you aren't about to start. So you heft your pickaxe and swing it into the man's skull. He collapses and the others fall silent. The acrid odor of urine rises from his body.
We're gonna go down fighting. Anyone who feels differently can settle it with me right now.
Your voice is hoarse from hours of shouting orders, but no one else moves. They cast their eyes down in the flickering torchlight. She could be violent when she changes. Something thuds against the door. The others raise their weapons, picks, shovels, and a few swords, but they don't dare flinch. Your own pulse pounds at your temples. You pull back from Tana's soul, but you feel Zenove's wrath and ferocity tugging at you. Her essence thrashes, lashing out at an unseen enemy. Zenove is powerful, but dangerous too. Her fury has anchored her to old and threatening memories. Hold on. The Recluse of White Marsh. Oh, these are our, I'm assuming these are our options here. Let's do it.
To speak up?
I did just hit F5, right? Yes. A tremor passes through Tana's face, and she's already old anyway. And then her rumpled skin goes slack. After a racking cough, she blinks like someone slowly coming to consciousness.
That name. It carries memories of death, war, fury, the taste of blood. What do you want with it?
She might not. Maybe she won't. Her eyes have grown unusually clear. Her soul is at war within her, Watcher. The battle will engulf her if we do nothing. I need to enter Durgan's battery.
What trickery is this, stranger? You think a Pargrin would so easily betray her own people?
Her hands clench and unclench around an imaginary weapon. Zenove's essence stirs with the same battle-ready fervor you sensed in her memory from Durgan's battery. She is dangerous. Beneath Zenove, Tana's overwhelmed consciousness struggles. You'd never betray Durgan's battery. Your loyalty is plain to see.
You speak like one who knows me.
Her fury abates and confusion seeps into its place. You test its contours for purchase.
Then you're not one of Zoltan's visiting merchants or Exandru's foreign zealots. You're one of us.
We might recover her consciousness. Even as Zenove speaks through the old woman, you feel Taina's consciousness recover and steady itself. I know the door with a relief depicting an anvil and crenellated wall. Sound familiar? Her eyes fly wide and she recites something in chanting rhythm. Hammers of Durgan ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. Walls of the battery safeguard our works from marauder and wilder alike. Abaddon's faithful travail by the forge and the fires that brighten the ore. She takes a deep breath and her eyelids droop. Inside the old woman's body, the personalities and memories of Zenove and Taina vie for dominance. Taina is beginning to surface, but Zenove is stronger still. Her rage and panic temporarily diminished. You perceive both pieces of the soul as something fluid and malleable, if only for a moment. Push Zenove's essence down, allowing Taina to reemerge. That's what she did. She lets out a great sigh, expelling the rage and trauma of her past life like so much vapor. But when she looks back up at you, her eyes are bright with new energy.
Did I nod off? My, but I had the strangest dream.
She shakes her head and dusts her hands on her
So
trousers.
much work to be done. Pardon me, but I'd better check on those miners. At the rate they're going, it'll be another year before they clear that blazing shaft. Let's hear it then. Me? I was the overseer at the mine, back when it was running. Got shut down decades ago when we couldn't sell or ship the stuff.
Well, let's get it going again.
I still remember plenty about the mining business. And I got as many folk as I can digging out the entrance.
She taps her head, a spotted dome under the thin thatch
Been
of hair.
praying to the salty wench that I don't plenty of work to be done in.
All right, so now we've got the key to opening the door. If it loads. I wonder how difficult it is to move the game without losing the saves. Might be really easy because the saves don't load until I log in, so they may be kept like cloud. I may try over the weekend. I'm hoping to install my 2 NVMe drives over the weekend. I'd like to use one to store the games that I'm playing on stream because it's an NVMe drive. It's going to be a whole lot faster than what I'm using now. And then use the second one for when I'm recording video, have it record directly to an NVMe drive. That may not be a great idea. I don't know, but I'm going to try it anyway. So right over here, there may also be something. There's a rock. Or it could be over here. I need to go back and look at that map again. But for now, we're headed to the Russetwood Pond. Hey, Topher, good evening. We were looking to talk to you earlier. Wondering, Squig and I were trying to talk about setting up when we want to start playing Baldur's Gate 3. And when you might be available, so that we can start figuring out what nights we want to play it. 980 Pro M.2 SSD just came today. Oh, congrats! 700 megabyte read-write speed. Or 7,000. 7,000 makes more sense. The figure looks around. You glimpse a face you've seen before. Kexidal, one of Lafta's acolytes, pulls a hood over his head and throws a leather bag over his shoulder. Without looking back, he walks away in the direction of Stalwart Village. He's not going to get very far. I'm standing right there. Cloudy water is visible through a large hole cut through the thick ice. It is larger than a fishing hole, wider than a broad-set hamaua. Stirred, the surface of the water laps against the layered ice. You reach out to test the water. It nips at your fingers with every ripple, quickly numbing your hand after a few seconds. The water swirls silty and nearly opaque. Focusing, you catch glimpses of the bottom, gradually making shapes out of the blur. You're convinced that several objects lie at the bottom. You carefully inspect your surroundings. Animal tracks are plentiful, But what appear to be the footprints of Kith are also present near the hole. Looking closer into the hole, you notice a jagged ring of frost adhering to its walls. It's been rebroken, perhaps more than once. Yep, August 3rd. Gotta work. All right. It might just be me and Squig that night. No, so here's a question I have, because I haven't looked at its multiplayer. Is it a thing where you have to start the game with all the same players, or can they be can another player be added to the game later? You know, can you start it as 2 players and 2 NPCs and then add remove an NPC and get a player later? That's something I need to look into. Haven't tested it. I might have to try that and find out what happens. I'm going to dive in. Let's see what happens. I don't have a bulwark against the elements. Kana is a Amaua. Manea is an Anaua. Consider how to best deal with the situation. You step back and look at the hole. Okay. Manea dives into the water and disappears under its turbulent darkness. The cold steals all warmth. Every movement is a struggle, and soon, next to impossible. A spasm jolts your companion into action. Manea desperately swims upward, surging through the water and emerging out of it, shivering and exhausted. I'm diving. After the failed attempt, you take a moment to consider your options. Only extreme resilience against cold will allow you to have enough time to search for objects. Leave. Hold on. Okay. Don't I have something? I think I have something with the elements thing on it. Have a chance to test this weekend? That might be something we can do. It's gonna be an armor. Man, I wish there was a way to search. I may have already even gotten rid of it, something like that. Deflection. Pierce proof. These are all just fine. I don't think I do have this. Well, that's too bad. I wonder if I can make something. Attribute bonuses of Constitution. Nope. Proofing. Freeze proof? Looks like your chest piece is the only one you can actually do. Freeze proofed. Let's try it. Let's try having Kana dive down. Nope. It's got to be bulwark against the elements. I don't know how to get that. Do I have a scroll? I swore I remembered having something. Prayer against fear. Nope. I don't know. Current save is in a heavy spoiler area. Not okay. Get it caught up to after the tutorial. That'll be good. Then we can give it a try. I'm also looking for woodcutters while we're here. Can't believe these bags are still here from the last time I was here. It's him, Harmke. I remember that weak chin and those knobbly knees. A weak chin and knobbly knees. Can't be too many people matching that description.
How goes?
The elven man emerges into the clearing and freezes, staring at the devil of Karak. For an elf, he's tall and rangy with a weather-beaten face beneath stringy, greasy hair. The others with him turn, glaring and gaping at the bronze golem.
Aurochs Shadow, what's that wicked thing doing here?
Why are you so nervous?
It's a killer! Look, we don't want no trouble. Just trying to do our work.
You don't see me playing on a lot of groups either. And maybe sometimes when I play an MMO, but I don't play a lot of like small group games.
We'd be much obliged if you'd leave us be. And take that thing with you.
What do you see, Smeech? Is that the man who torched us? Read Harmka's soul. He steps away from you, but your awareness reaches through his trembling skin and the feeble resistance of his fear. You see memories, snow-shrouded forests, partitioned by fallen pines and firs. Days measured by the steady swing of your axe. There are other moments too, recollections that flare up like hearths, warming fire. There are children, spry and lanky like you, but still full of the rowdy energy of youth. Together you scatter winterbloom petals on a grave. You reach deeper into Harmka's soul. Years roll back. A torch in your left hand bathes your face and shoulder in heat. All around you are other men and women holding other torches, and the mountain air is acrid with the stench of smoke and sweat. Rage billows off the others. It's been a fever in your blood for days now, exhausting you and invigorating you in equal measure. You're at the edge of that town, cold morn. It's hours yet before dawn, but the commotion has started to awaken the village. Candlelight ignites behind frost-crusted windows. A haunted face peers out at you through the glass. You begin to doubt yourself. Just then a door slams. A villager comes racing through the trees, kicking up snow. With his stark white face and pale hair, he looks almost like a ghost. The line of torchbearers ripples as he gets closer. He picks up speed, but nobody moves toward him. You imagine him breaking through the row, shattering your ranks like the bad dream that brought you all here. You imagine waking up in your bed, the heat from your torch, nothing more than the warmth of your wife sleeping next to you. Instead, the villager reaches the row of torchbearers a stone's throw away from you. A woman advances from the line and buries her dagger in his neck. The rest of your fellows shout. Rage, memory, and bloodthirsty triumph boil up in you. You all came here with a purpose. You came to bring justice to the traitors of Cold Morn. The next few hours are painted in colors more vivid than life. You put your torch to anything that stands and your sword to anyone who runs, as if Magrin himself whispers in your ear and guides your hand. Exhaustion has almost cooled your rage when you spy a house at the edge of town, one of the only buildings that hasn't already burned. It's flanked by knotty spruce trees, and the door is painted yellow. Yellow, the bloom of sunrise, the hue of your son's hair, the color of cowardice. And then someone barrels into you from behind. It's a man, somewhere you remember from the journey to Cold Morn. Though you can't recall his name, he snarls at you mad with indiscriminate rage, and it occurs to you that he's mistaken you for one of the villagers. You smash the window and hurl your torch inside. The other man has turned away. You think you hear a child shriek within the house, but it's impossible to tell above the roar of the riot. Harmka shivers as you pull away from the memory. His eyes are wide with guilt and fear. Spit it out, Smeech. What did you see?
What did you say?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Don't forget the free game. Oh. Don't forget the free games. Go get your free games on Epic. If you haven't got your free games, you don't have much longer to get them. All right, None the Artist, thank you for hanging out with us this evening. Have a good night, sleep well, and we will see you next week. Hey, what's that? They finally got Epic to open without having to wait 30 minutes for it? Train Valley. And next week is a game called Murder by Numbers. I don't know what kind of game Train Valley is, but I'm going to grab it. Place this order. Grab this Train Valley 2 game. And then we'll reclose Epic. Back to Pillars of Eternity. What did it feel like? The torch in your hand, the blade you carried. What did they feel like? A wild, inhuman scream echoes out of the bizarre machinery of her throat. It drops Harmka and his companions to their knees, where they cry out in terror. Gears squeal and crank as she rushes at him. It's all her. Yeah, I changed my mind. We're all part of this. We may have just destroyed the town by killing all of the woodcutters. Alof was successful.
I think it may be time to strike up camp.
Can do.
And Smeech gained a level. Smeech, your mechanics go up to 10. And your stealth, maybe? Athletics? Yeah, athletics. Why not? Next. We're going to take... we need one that gives Hunter's Bow. Wait, there it is. Peasant, Hatchet, Spear, Hunting Bow. I think that's Hunting Bow that he's using, isn't it? Pretty sure. So Hatchet, Spear, Quarterstaff, Hunting Bow, and Unarmed.
Yeah.
We are no longer the savior of this town. That's for sure. Oh, we have a supplicant. Leaving in 19 hours if ignored, -8 prestige, +0 security for 3 days. Minor reputation with Deerford Village. Deerford. So, send an escort. We'll go ahead and send this person. We've got lots of people now to help. Oh, here, hold on, before we leave.
Just say the word.
Before we leave, we can have this conversation.
Almost 15 years I've been looking for him.
She stares ahead as you approach, the ink-black marble of her eyes fixed on some distant point. Her essence swells and swirls in the throes of
All
contemplation.
that fretting and wondering. And the deed's over in less time than it takes to tell.
I hope Harmka's death has brought you peace.
Now there's a funny word for it. I killed a lot of folk in my time. Felt their blood slick in my hands. Smelled their flesh as it burned.
She holds her hands in front of herself as they twitch and
I
spasm.
always used to imagine what it would be like to have Harmka under my knife, feeling his breath come hot and fast, smelling the fear ooze out of him. Couldn't feel a thing. His fading pulse weren't no more than a patter of rain to me. This body, it weren't made for feeling. Gouging my fingers into Harmka's wasting flesh, his screams just buzzing in my skull. All it did was remind me that this is a madman's fever dream. Like a prison, but no, because in a prison, you lay your head down and you feel the straw soft beneath you.
This is sad. She's a sad character.
Crumbling on your tongue.
It's one of those dark and gritty games. pleasure or distractions you're lucky to. That sounds awful.
I still dream out of folk. I wake up some mornings wondering why I can't feel the floor beneath me, thinking I must have fallen and gone crippled. But then I lift my head, see a bronze corpse
Ran into a
stretching out
problem.
in front of me.
I don't have it installed at the moment. Oh no. I'm sorry you have to go through that.
It's not pity I want, it's a choice.
She draws back from you.
I dreamed too of what Galvino did that night. Those moments. I'd endure another cold morn if he'd spare me this fate. It was after I got caught and startled. They'd locked me in a little house by me, the old mayor and his cronies. When a crowd of them came for me in the dark of night, I was only surprised it had taken them so long. Only they didn't march me to no gallows. No, they snuck me to another house in the edge of town, real sneaky-like. That's where I met Galvino.
Dang, we need to go back and kill Galvino, maybe.
Weren't nobody fonder of reminding me. He was fiddling with some machinery in his workshop. Had his sleeves rolled up even though it was cold enough to see a brow. Never actually looked at me until he started fitting some copper helmet over my head. By that time, the mayor's goons had me trussed up good and tight. Galvino was having himself a grand time barking orders at that lot. So while Galvino's fastening that helmet over my head and them copper bands around my arms, I'm starting to look at his contraption. And that's when I see it. It's this metal suit strapped into the machine just like me. A cold, dead-eyed thing, all done up with fancy carvings and such.
Wow.
I had this terrible cold feeling in my gut, but I still couldn't figure. I start asking Galvino and the rest of them what's going on, but they're too busy to answer. Then suddenly, they're waiting, staring at me with that fixed, horrified look. But they ain't watching me. They're watching for something to happen. Galvino tells the woman nearest the machine to flip the handle. And then, just
Man,
being
kind of makes you want to burn the whole
every
town
which
down,
way, feeling
like
my
they
soul
did to her town.
peeled from my body. By the time I came to, I couldn't feel a thing. Just this dull, distant sort of ache.
I heard the old man cackling and chattering. Then I saw him looming over me, looking down at me with hungry eyes. I tried to scream, tried to swing at him.
That was when I knew. I reckon I'm the wrong person for that sort of question. But if it cools your conscience, Galvino didn't get off easy. The rest of Stalwart didn't take kindly to having a killer in their midst, nor to seeing their mayor and the Ornery Valians strike a secret deal. They drove Galvino out, destroyed a fortune in machinery, and wrote a letter to the Academy in Salona, ruining what was left of his name. Still, he's lucky he didn't get a pelting. The old mayor fled too, and Stalwart's been as snug and cheery as ever.
Now that we've dealt with Harmke, why have you stuck around?
You're better company than Galvino.
Oh, good.
Been a while since I were out in the world. Guess I'm keen on seeing more of it. Even if I'm stuck with a bleeding heart.
That's my default reaction to towns. Good point.
Anyways, I've been wondering about that fortress.
She looks away again, flexing a restaurant. Durgan's battery? What about it? You're acting unusually coy. She's quiet, fixated on her squeaky
Near
joint.
everyone thinks it'll have just the thing they need.
She ticks a list off on her clicking
Those villages
fingers.
wanted to fix up their brook downtown. Galvino always thought it carried some great secret of Animanson, and all them adventurers came looking for fancy gear.
What are you hoping to
I
find?
don't know. Something to help me feel, or forget. Effigy's eyes, maybe just something new. I just figured with those dwarves being expert smiths and
Maybe.
all, maybe they had something to unmake me.
A fellow
Put me
arsonist, I
back in
see.
my body.
And let's not admit to anything. That might suit you being a vampire. Perhaps we'll find something
Save
yet.
your pretty words for someone who needs them. They were just a passing fancy.
That whole story just depressed the heck out of me. Hold on. Let's take a look. Where are we at? We can go back to the guy, right? Maybe. We can go to Durgan's battery. Oh, that's done. So Durgan's battery is it. Regrets worth trading. Retrieve Akron's. Oh, we still wanted to retrieve Akron's medal. But I don't know how to get this spell. So we might need to find the gift bearer who is near Durgan's battery somewhere. A fellow alleged arsonist, not so much about the fire. Yeah, arsonists are all about the fire, and this is not about the fire. It might be time to rest again. It's kind of cool that we could play this game in a bunch of different languages if we wanted to. Oh, she has none. Try to get rid of those debuffs that everybody's getting from all the swimming around that we tried to do. You awaken and hear someone stirring, growling. Looking over, you see Minea twitching and muttering in her sleep. You can't make out what she's saying, but from her bared teeth and the sheen of sweat on her brow, this seems like a very bad dream. She sits bolt upright, roaring and reaching for her weapon. Decker, calm down, you're safe.
Oh, sorry. I must have been dreaming.
Oh man, now have you ever read The Stand? You should read The Stand. And when you read The Stand, you'll understand why I asked. How about notice how carefully she's avoiding your gaze? About
no,
what?
It's nothing. Sorry, I shouldn't have bothered you.
She pulls her blankets over her shoulder. You aren't bothering me, but something's clearly bothering you. I'd like to help. She's quiet for a long time. It seems like she's already gone back to sleep, but then she sighs.
You told me about your awakening.
Adir stirs. Minea waits silently until he rolls over and resumes deep, steady breaths.
I guess I've had a similar problem. There's something I remember from a former life. Happened hundreds of years ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday.
Ooh,
Happened while I was fighting in Old Valia 20 years ago. My unit was camped out in the palace we'd just taken. The others were roasting the last of the Marcheso's pigs in the feast hall. So I went to the wine cellars to fetch a few bottles. I don't know how long she'd been hiding there, but there was this old woman. Must have been one of the servants. She had this wild look in her eyes. I approached her and tried to tell her not to be afraid, that she was safe. She screamed and grabbed my arm.
Oh no! She closes her eyes.
It felt like someone had hit me in the back of my head. I blacked out for a few minutes, and when I came to, she was gone. I took a few bottles up with me, feasted with the rest of the troops. But when I went to bunk, I had a dream. Only it was more vivid than any dream I've ever had. I tasted the sweat on my lips, felt the jungle air on my skin, heard the cries.
The dream was a
like
memory?
when you hear a song you know you've heard before. Anyway,
it's
I
like
laid
deja
off the
vu.
drink for several days, but I kept having the dream. After a few weeks, I thought a change of scenery might do me good. Since then, I've been a pirate in the Deadfire, a pilgrim in the White that Wends, an adventurer in the Living Lands, and a gift bearer in a Shamadal.
What's this memory?
It's something terrible I did, a long time ago, and as a different person. But I remember it more clearly than anything.
All right, then
I
what's
told you I
next?
was looking for the Abbey of the Fallen Moon so I could leave something behind. There's a pool there, the Salt Well. It's where gift bearers leave the heaviest burdens. It's said that a person can enter it and leave their own memories behind.
We have to find this Abbey. You would leave this haunting memory in the Salt Well?
That's the plan. At this point, I'd gladly give up all my memories if that's what it takes for peace in this life.
It's a
and
long
the
book,
next.
so when you do get around to reading it, be prepared to settle in. Okay, where am I thinking I'm going to find this guy I'm looking for? I'm imagining not in a cavern. Could be at the camp. I hope I didn't already miss him. Oh, hold on. Sacred instruments. A woman named Ista is trying to recreate the alchemical instruments by which the battery dwarves... Okay. Use Ista's device to track down precious metals outside of Durgan's battery. Ista is certain that her device works similar to those used by the dwarves. From the stone bridge, the device points west. Okay. Is it a device I actually have to use? It seems like it's not. I wonder if it's in this cave. Is this the cave with the dragon that doesn't like me? Retrieve the ore. Spot along the cavern wall. White adrogems. An exceptional arbalist. Well, we found it. I guess we're done already. That was easy. Stream is in like 60p. Another note, halfway done downloading Baldur's Gate 3. Forgot I uninstalled it. Man, stream looks that bad, huh?
Scenic marches and campfire feasts, like the good old days on the Valian front. You got any memories like that, Adair?
Well, let's see. Sometimes we march 2-3 days without sleep. Start seeing things that weren't there.
Nice thing about mercenary work is you can always quit.
Where am I going? Is it him? No, that's Terriger. Where is the guy I'm supposed to be finding? That we have to go back to Bugalino. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to get this thing. Get to it after I finish the chemistry of powders and explosives. What the face reveals, outwitting the devil, and the art of blacksmithing. That's a lot to read. Okay, so where was downstairs? Forgot how to get where I want to go. Oh, there it is, in the floor. Oh, look, we've got a couple more people whose levels have gone up again. Solmar the Shackler, a slaver from Red Saris, has arrived requesting a prisoner to buy. Whoop, wait, what? He was nearly set upon by brigands on the road, but your patrols intervened. But there's not a quest to go along with it. Oh, I can accept money to let him go. No. No, I'm not. I want to put the slaver in prison too.
The devil has not scorched you yet, eh? Perfetto. Yes? Does the sniveling cur hide in his home? Or has he been exiled to a place even more frigid and foul?
Learn that he murdered his sisters.
The man is even more of a wretch than I thought. What of him now? Surely the villagers string him up with his own fishing line. Perfetto! Oh, I only wish I could have seen it. I will open a good wine tonight.
Potion of major endurance.
As for you, take this.
That's something, I guess. Okay, that's a quest that's done. One more down. Lots of people are getting levels now. We should probably do that real quick. Okay, Adair. Athletics still. Athletics and survival. Saving the points. Soldier. Greatsword, pike, warhammer, arbalist. Interrupting blows gives you plus 15 interrupt. Passive. That might be really nice. And then Bloody Slaughter gives us more chance to crit. Only when they're at low endurance, though. Plus one enemies engaged. That might be one that we wanted. Unstoppable. Oh, yeah. Arms Bearer gives you an extra weapon slot. Heart of the Storm. Spirit of Decay. Secrets of Rhyme. Quick Switch. Wound Binding. And Field Triage. Let's take Hold the Line. Give him plus one enemies. That help him tank better. 29 minutes. Thank you very much for the heads up. Alright, Kana. There we go. We got a level 3 ability. Gurnus Beast summons a Drake. That's fun. We're gonna take that. Oh wait, we can take one more. Oh no, we can't. We can take an ability. He needs two-handed. Something that'll give him S-Stock. Adventurer. 6 accuracy. Okay, now you. She's stealth. She can't get another point, but she's super close, so we're going to save it. Amplified Wave. Manifests the target ally's mental strengths and projects them outward, forcefully causing a shockwave that inflicts crush damage and knocks opponents prone. Why not? Psychic Backlash. Invokes a retaliatory strike, stunning an enemy whenever they target the Cypher's will defense. And it's this passive. Target is stunned. Yeah, we're gonna take that. I like a passive. Passives are easy to use. Okay, and you are Thief. Have an 8 in stealth and an 11 in mechanics. And do you have... Surely she's got the... Yes. Yes, she does. Okay, she's using a sword. Sword and rapier. Ruffian. Saber, stiletto, club, pistol, and blunderbuss. Dagger, rapier, mace, scepter, and rod. Let's start with sword. Weapon focus, knight. Ooh. Hold on. She could also have interrupting blows. That would be good. Let's take that. Interrupting blows is really nice. Just a chance to interrupt spells. It just feels like such a nice thing to have. Athletics to 10. She's axes. Axes and maces is what I've given her. So Noble would give her mace. Greatsword, pike, warhammer, or she may already have axe. Savage attacks. -5 to accuracy. 144p. But the download is done. Excellent. 2-weapon style. Here we go. 20% dual wield attack speed. Next. Done. Extra attack speed on dual wield. Perfect. Gotta find how to get in there. But we only have like 20 minutes, so we might move on. We might go see if we can get into the keep now. Real quick, I could check the watchtower. Yeah, I'm not sure it's worth it. Okay, Hammers of Durgan. Ring loud, may the anvil's deep music resound. Walls of the battery safeguard our works for the marauder and wilder alike. Abaddon's faithful travail by the forge and the fires. 1. Wait, which one did I say? Hold on, let's leave. Let's start again. May the anvil's deep music. So it's anvil. And then the walls. Okay, so push their crenellated. Oh, strike the anvil relief. As you do, a single ringing tone whistles through the air. Your hand buzzes and vibrates like struck metal. When you look back at the relief, the panels on either side of the wall and anvil have come alive. Ogres and warriors of all races gather for battle, their shapes and silhouettes formed by flaring world heat patterns. The tiny figures move and dance, animated by the flicker and blaze of an unseen fire. Walls of the battery safeguard our works from marauder and wilder alike. You hear the heavy thud of some kind of mechanism loosening behind the plaque. Push the crenellated wall relief. Oh, wait. Strike the warriors. Ah, nope. Okay. So it's walls of the battery safeguard our works. It slides easily with the slightest pressure. from your fingers. You guide it up and over the anvil relief where it clicks into place. Beneath it is a deep cavity. It's shaped like a dragon's gaping jaws. Hammers of Durgan ring loud. May the anvil's deep music resound. The buzz of essence fades, and the relief reverts to its original state. What? Oh, they went into a different order. That's the problem. Here we go. Walls of the battery safeguard. Press the crenellated wall, and then it should be Abaddon's Faithful. Warm air gusts from the open mouth, tingling your cold, numb. Stick your weapon into the mouth. Stick your finger into the cavity. Examine the mouth more closely. Stick your weapon into the mouth. The buzz of essence fades and the relief reverts. What? I gotta stick my finger in there? Okay. Heat billowing from the mouth prevents you from getting too close, but the rim of the cavity and the tiny teeth surrounding it are blackened with soot. You accidentally inhale some of the vapor. It's odorless, but it leaves you lightheaded. It seems like we should start it on fire. Oh, use your torch. There we go. Press the dragon's tongue to light a fire in the mouth. Can I do that? Fire catches the warm vapor with a billowing whoosh. The dragon's eyes are alight and flames lick at the edges of its mouth. A few seconds later, the panel is sliding away from you as the two enormous doors swing open into a grand hall. There we go. There we go. I've not seen National Treasure. Either one of them. The door is now open. Time to enter. You sense the presence of one of the other pieces of Garad's helm nearby. Excellent.
I hear them, whispering of long-dead memories. They're here, Watcher.
Man, all kinds of stuff going on. It's on fire! The statue of Abaddon is modeled and tarnished, but each bolt and rivet appears crafted with meticulous detail. You definitely recommend I see them? I might have to check them out. Okay, we're not going to go upstairs yet.
Found it!
Oh, we got some cogwheels.
We earned this. Durgan's steel has lined our halls in gold.
Your vanity dishonors Abaddon and cheapens us all.
These weapons are ours. Or have you two forgotten how to hold a sword?
Spirits that walk and speak, trapped in their memory. What has happened?
Whoa, that spirit just ran off.
If you say so, that'll do.
Oh, I should probably be sneaking around. This place has to have traps.
Damn you both! My generation built this keep to honor Abaddon, not to further your greed and ambition.
We're Pargrunin. Our forefathers explored and conquered, but you've stuck us in this frigid hall.
Paved with gold and marble. I won't allow us to abandon our legacy for your delusions.
No, you'll peddle it away to line your pockets. How much have you made selling our steel, Zoltan?
Again with your lies. You think I don't hear you turning the others against me? These walls echo, and...
Enough! I'll send the Forge Guardians on both of you if that's what it takes.
That'll do.
And we got some boots of stability. just want that little number 1 to go away. Purchase. Wait, what? We can... I thought we finished this. I didn't realize there was anything left for us to be building. Alright, South Curtain Wall provides further protection to the Bailey from invaders coming from the south. I thought we even got an achievement for finishing it.
Keeping an eye out.
And we got a Ring of Unshackling. Let's just stick with her for now. Scroll of Valor, Record of Production. Here is a current accounting of this month's production. 20 long swords, 15 axes, 12 hammers, 7 maces, 2 flails. 7 full suits of armor for Forged Guardians, 3 additional suits of armor. If the Commandants remark on production rates, kindly remind them that we received 3 different work orders from them. Vassal, Master Smith of Durgan's Battery. A note in another hand is written at the bottom of the page. What does Exandru need with so many Forged Guardians? Keep an eye on him. Fine, Arquebus. You think you glimpse flickers of movement in this tarnished clouded mirror. Okay, those things are all dead. That was quick and easy.
Oh, and if I find something good, you can have half.
Letter to Zoltan. Esteemed Coinmaster Zoltan, I write to you in anger and bafflement. Have I not been a faithful customer to you? Have I not been fair in my dealings? Yet after all of our business together, your people turned me away like some filthy beggar. I arrived at the battery a fortnight ago, frost in my beard and not a morsel in my belly. Barely had I unhitched the horses when your Commandant Exandru came to meet me. The priest told me that I would be made welcome, but my profane business would not. In short, I would have to leave at first light, my wagons empty. Certain that this was but a negotiating tactic, I told Exandru that I would of course see him compensated along with you. He left in a huff, and when I presented myself at the door, it was Commandant Maroon, your arms warden, who met me. She told me to leave at once, that she wouldn't have my coin-grubbing hands tarnishing Durgan's steel. Now, I appreciate forceful bargaining as much as any man of coin, but I was cold, hungry, and put off by her vehemence. So I showed her the letter you had sent inviting me to examine your latest stock of Durgan steel. Commandant Maroon drove a rapier through the letter and sliced it in 2. She then warned me that her blade, a fine weapon indeed, would be the last I ever laid eyes on if I did not hie back down the mountain at once. Never have I endured such humiliation and expense only to return home empty-handed. I do not understand what has passed between you and your associates, but I urge you to take charge. I fear the other commandants will be your undoing. Indeed, that all of Durgan's battery, if you do not deal with them swiftly and decisively. Yours, Maestre Annetto of Cesaro. Take it all. Take it all. Give me things that I need. Daily affirmations of focus and efficiency. Okay, let's explore this room up here. That totally looks like a trap.
Ain't that special?
It is. Okay, we disarmed that. Tables, shields, and collapsed stones have been piled up to form an impassable barricade. This has to be another trap, right?
You gotta see this.
Okay, first you do this. Then the rest of you kill him. Okay, excellent. There's going to be another trap right down there, though. There. Got him off the trap. Now we can kill this priest. And you're dead.
That'll do.
She's probably getting a nice set of traps built up in her inventory. She is. Concussive missiles, freezing pillar, boiling spray, poisonous cloud, gaze of the Adragon. Once triggered, this powerful trap inflicts a heavy curse which petrifies all foes within its range, rendering them vulnerable to further attack. Nice. Archer's gloves.
Oh, and if I find something good, you can have half.
Okay, come on.
My mind feels sharp as a
There we go. Chop him up. Chop him up. Oh, look at this. We've dealt our 250 shock damage to enemies with Stormcaller to unlock the next level. Kill 5 Kith Druids with Stormcaller to unlock the next level. Or kill 25 enemies to unlock the next level. I didn't take note of whether it was better or not because of the level. I'm sure it is, right? It's gotta be. Okay. Do you have on gauntlets? You do have hands. You do not. So wherever I put those, probably in here. Yes. It's for melee damage focus. An exceptional saber, fine.
I'm on it.
You should have run.
Sandra would better watch his back.
Okay, so we found our way around. What's over here?
I shall
go
be
back to
quiet
sneaking
as
just
a
in case.
calm
You gotta see this.
sea, which is not very.
Sultan's the only
That
cheat
sheep
sold
sold our steed
Oh,
and
here it
took
goes.
the
Now they're
town
going to
himself.
talk.
Maroon! She won't rest until our corpses decorate the halls.
A bronze statue of Abaddon stands over incense, ash, and rusted metal tokens. Okay, I think we're done with this floor. Nope, we've still got more back here.
We've got to survive by any means necessary.
We'll have blood in these halls before long.
So it seems like this forge, the possession of this forge tore them apart from the inside. It's like Shadar Logoth in here. Can I join a game midway through with a custom character? No, you cannot. You have to be there at the beginning of the game to create a custom character. Joining mid-game will only let you take control of existing characters. Okay. So it's possible to take control of an existing character to join a game already in progress, but you can't do it with your own. That kind of sucks, but it also is kind of good. At least, I mean, it lets people still play. It's just a little bit of the fun out of it. As you approach the doorway, a wave of essence ripples through the air. The ancient stones grind and groan around you, and a woman's voice echoes from the hall.
Stop right there. You must be some merchant come to speak with Zoltan.
There's a pause in which the woman's wrathful essence gathers like a storm cloud on the other side of the door. The entire room creaks from the pressure of her presence. I don't believe the Haunted Keep wishes to purchase any of our fine wares.
Our illustrious coin master may let you plunder our armory, but I've got other ideas for dealing with your lot.
Her voice is sharp and loud, like the slamming of a door. and her words echo in the chamber. The ghosts startle and flinch, glancing about in agitation.
Turn and go before I show you how an arms warden deals with trespassers.
A group called the Leaden Key is seeking something here. The ghost stirs, looking around and shivering. Their eyes widen and glow as they light on you, as if they've noticed you for the first time. Just as quickly, they gaze away and seem to forget you once more, but now they seem alert, wary.
Whoever you're searching for, I haven't seen them, and none get past me. Leave our halls. Go back to whatever land you hail from.
The Leaden Key is a group. Key group is buying weapons from Zoltan. He snuck them in, thinking you wouldn't find them. Oh, I can't lie.
You waste your breath on hollow threats. I'll have you carved by Durgan steel, wretch. Then we'll see what the other commandants have to say.
Uh-oh. I guess I'm fighting the ghost now. I said the wrong thing. Fragment of Maroon. Dead. Feel sad about that. Everything always wants to fight me.
Yeah.
Whoops. I even knew that was there. Okay, so we went up here. We didn't try going up the other stairwell yet. Continue past the mines.
Good thing I sold most of my jewelry.
Fall back!
I've got a bad feeling about this place. Like, I'm if you've never read The Wheel of Time, you should. But, man, if you read The Wheel of Time, it's definitely giving me Shadow Logoth vibes. Okay, you start firing at that guy, and you don't have a ranged weapon, but you do, correct? Yes. Come on, kill that battery defender. Oh, now these guys made it out here.
My mind feels...
Come on. There we go. That took a little bit.
Laying low.
Laying low. Ah, come on. Scroll over. We didn't get to see whatever that interaction was. 2 minutes. We better be finishing up pretty quick then. Gauntlets of Ogre's Might. No worries. Doing Mondays sounds like a good plan to me. I think doing Mondays sounds great. We'll have to make sure it's good for Squig if he's still available on Mondays. But do we just we want to just try to schedule for just do Baldur's Gate 3 on Mondays as we go? What does he have on his arms? Deflection. Oh yeah, deflection 9. Deflection plus 9. Melee damage bonus. I don't know which is better. Damage or might? All right, we'll just keep what we've got. All right. Well then, so yeah, you can only make one character per person. That makes sense. Might need to prep a little more. Are we able to get together and plan a little? I will have to double check, but I should be available. Is there a... if you wanna message or create a group or something in the Discord that we can message each other on, so I don't have to ask you like right now what's a good time and all this. Let's see if we can get something together. Right now I'm not working. I have no hours on Saturday or Sunday, so if you want to try to do something this weekend, that's cool. We'll probably be a thief, assassin, or a ranger. Excellent. So yeah, just let me know in Discord if there's a good time for you guys, and we'll get together and figure stuff out. Sunday would work? Okay. So, I mean, it works for me if it works for Squig. All right. Well, okay, I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. I hope you're still enjoying this playthrough. I'm sorry we didn't finish the DLC like I thought we would, but we've got to be getting pretty close. So we'll just pick up where we're leaving off on Monday. Right? Today was Thursday, right? Right? Yes? So we'll be back Monday. We'll finish out the DLC, and maybe this is going to go an extra week longer than I thought it was going to. I'm not a good judge of how long a game is. Until next time, though, stay sharp. Be excellent to each other. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. There you go. Thanks, Matt, for reminding me. Have a great weekend.